kiddies? It's T. Rogers. We're going to talk about jets and tips on how to fly them. First thing you're going to want to do is get off the ground. That's by hitting the throttle and pulling back on the stick. Unless your sticks are inverted. In that case, you would push up on the stick. Alright, let's get to the real fucking point here. You know, you want to watch your speed. You want to keep it going fast, but you don't want to go too slow either. I mean, going slow helps when you're attacking ground targets and helicopters, and making tight turns. But, you know, always stay behind your enemy. Keep a good speed. Keep up with them as much as possible. And make sure you fire until that thing blows up, because most people, or some people, run off with a fire extinguisher, and they'll be back to hunt your ass down very shortly if you don't kill them right away. Now, you're not going to get a lot of kills in the jets, so don't plan on doing that, because most people are smart enough to bail out. But, you know, it's still fun to fly and fuck shit up. This is Battlefield. This is what you're supposed to do, is fuck shit up. Another thing you want to do, or, oh, actually, first I should talk about the perks I use, which is probably the easiest ones to use, in my opinion, is the IR flares of the ECM jammer, the air radar, which is extremely helpful when flying around. It spots enemies in the air for you, so. Another thing you want to do, or the other perk is, what the hell is it? Oh, the rocket pods. I don't use the heat seekers, I just use the minigun. It does enough damage if you know how to aim it right. But, you know, my personal preference, I like to attack ground units too with the rocket pods, and you'll see a clip at the end of this video about why. Another thing is, you always want to make sure you are, well, you know where you are on the map, like how high you are, and what buildings are around that you could possibly crash into. Like on Caspian Border, there's a giant tower, and yes, I have run into it many times by accident. Just because I forget where I am and I boom right into it. And also, if you're damaged and you got time, you're gonna take a chance, land the son of a bitch. Just make sure it's on the landing strip. And if you're dumb like me, you spawn without a friggin' engineer class, just have your buddies drive up on a Jeep and repair you if they're nice and you know them. And then you can take off and go right back into the action. Now, if you want to be friggin' a little bit skillful, you can try landing on the aircraft carrier, which you'll see in a little bit, which is a pain in the ass, and you have to go really slow. Now, like I said about keeping, being aware of your surroundings, this is me not being aware of my surroundings and going too slow to not get enough juice to pop over it. Oops, my bad. Another thing, when you are got an enemy in your ass, freaking just keep turning, braking, gassing, accelerating, afterburnering, just get around him somehow, some way, or ask your fellow squad mates for help. Tell him to lock a stinger on him or something, just so he kind of breaks away. Another thing you want to do is, after you learn how to fly and all that other stuff, is get all the jets out of the sky as quick as possible, because that is your main threat, besides the AA gun and stingers on the ground. Get everything out of the sky. First do the jets, do the helicopter if you're feeling antsy about it. And then, you know, do what you will. I use the rocket pods and just go friggin' bust tanks with them and shit. Blow up buildings and fuck shit up. Like I said, it's Battlefield. You gotta fuck shit up. But, you know, after you use the jet for a while, you'll kind of get the basics of it. Like, you'll know how high you are, how high you have to be to do a friggin' downward loop. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass sometimes, you know. Just, you gotta know, and you gotta know when to hit the afterburners to get speed. And if you ever get locked on by a stinger, use the landscape to your advantage. Like, if you can, if you're good at, like, if you can and you trust yourself enough, like, weave in between buildings and shit. Because the stinger sometimes will hit them, and then you'll be unlocked if you don't have flares or an ECM jammer or whatever. But this is my fourth, actually, attempt landing on the friggin' carrier. But it finally works, and I swear to God, I thought it was going to fall off. You have to be going really slow. If you go slow enough, you'll hear your landing gear start coming out, and that's when you know you're going pretty slow. But as you can see, it's like, I'm going to fly off the edge. So I landed it, and I was like, oh my god, I landed it! And then my squad mate Eagle over there was like, hey, I need a repair. I'm coming in. And he drives himself in here, and very friggin' erratically, as you'll see in a moment. Nice little slide and nosedive into the frickin' carrier. But repair him, get some extra points, and then he's on his way, and then I am going to attempt here to get off the carrier. But will I do it? Realistically, no, you probably wouldn't make it. But in this game, you will. You just slam on the gas and hit the afterburners as soon as you start moving forward a little bit. And it looks like you're going to hit the water, but no, you do not. And then you get up in the air and go back to doing your business and blow shit up. But, yeah, also, if you need to land out in the middle of nowhere, just make sure it's flat, because the jets will not go uphill. The nose will hit, and then you'll die. Forgot about that. And, like I said, the ECM jammer and the IR flares, I don't know what else you could possibly want to use. If you want to use the fire extinguisher, go ahead, but I don't plan on getting hit by a friggin' heat seeker or a Stinger missile. Now, this is me just blowing shit up. The A-10 in the Rush game. But anyway, those are just some quick tips. If you like them, you hate them, I don't really give a shit. Enjoy and good luck flying.